9 News at 9 starts right now.
'Twas a beautiful start to our Halloween Eve day. Sky 9 catching the view of the sunrise, lighting up the Flatirons. Yet another chilly start to a fall day in our state.
Sunset was just about as nice as sunrise. After warming up today, the temps are again dropping. And now parents around the state turn their attention to tomorrow. Kids don't care so much. And they care because they're walking with them. Let's bring in 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi about how it's going to look for all those headed out to trick and treat.
Cold, chilly.
Okay.
Yeah,
but not snowing or not raining and...
Exactly right. There's that sort of feeling that snow's on or just before Halloween most years. Last time it happened, you might remember 2 years ago that we had a pretty notable snow a couple days before Halloween, and we had a pretty good event back in 2019, 2018. So in recent years, we've had a few of these notable snow events on or just before Halloween. This year, that will not be the case. We have had no measurable snow, frankly, nothing even close for us in Denver, and we got nothing on the horizon. Akron, quiet right now for us here out over the eastern plains, and same for us into the Denver area as well, where temperatures mostly in the upper 30s and lower 40s for us around the metro area right now. And my clicker will eventually work, but by that time, here we go. We got her up and rolling. There we go. 30s and 40s for us around the metro area right now, and some 20s out over the eastern plains. Radar quiet as can be. It's going to stay that way for the rest of our night. Next few hours will drop down into the 30s for us before dawn. And that Halloween forecast, as I mentioned, it is chilly, but we're going to warm up really quickly this weekend. And for the start of November, I'll show you how warm it gets in just a couple minutes.
The 6 people who died at a dairy in northern Colorado over the summer were exposed to hydrogen sulfide gas, as expected. Will County coroner announced that today. The 5 men and a high school student were found dead in an enclosed space at the Prospect Valley Dairy near Keensburg. It was August 20th. At the time, industry experts told us that decomposing manure can create the toxic, odorless gas hydrogen sulfide. The coroner's findings will factor into an investigation by federal regulators to determine what happened and who, if anyone, is responsible.
People are showing their appreciation to the first responders who rushed to help during the Evergreen High School shooting. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says the student body co-president recently handed them more than 250 thank you cards, handwritten by student staff and other people in the community. Evergreen's fire department was also among the agencies honored, alongside bus drivers and workers at the library and nearby rec center.
We are just a few days away from tying the longest government shutdown in American history. This is day 30. Before the day ended, senators left Washington, D.C. with no progress in sight toward a deal to reopen the government. SNAP benefit funding, food stamps essentially, runs out Saturday. Millions of Americans are at risk of losing that critical food aid. Senators plan to return to the Capitol Monday after that food benefit deadline comes and goes. So if the government shutdown continues into the weekend, which certainly looks likely, 600,000 Coloradans, half of them kids, will lose those food benefits.
And today, the state and some local communities announced ways they're looking to keep people fed. 9 News reporter Ria Jha explains.
Yeah, you should take care of them for me.
A weekly ritual.
We've done this every Thursday for 3 years now.
That means something now.
All right, you guys, thank y'all so much for being here.
More than ever.
So like I said, this is something we've never seen before. What's up, big dog? How you doing?
Michael Johnson knows it.
Big Mike?
He's one of the directors at the Denver Dream Center.
We call it community dinner. We feed around 100 to 120. And we're expecting to see more than that in the month of November due to SNAP benefits.
The government shutdown could leave up to 100,000 people in Denver without food support.
Go find a seat, we'll bring you food, okay?
People like Michael say they're now relieved the city has a plan to help.
You know, putting together a food task force with all the food banks that we have in our city and all the nonprofits and the churches coming together, I think it's going to make a huge impact.
Officials are now stepping up, from one of Colorado's largest cities to one of its smaller counties.
But we're small enough that we can do this.
In Aspen, Lindsay Maish with Pitkin County Human Services says they're launching their own local response, issuing grocery gift cards directly to SNAP recipients.
So to have 335 individuals, that's something that we can conceptualize. We worry a little bit more about some of the big counties. We issue around $66,000 a month you're looking at if they're bigger counties, you're looking at counties who are issuing millions and millions of dollars a month.
You guys make sure y'all get a plate and eat with them.
That is where the state is stepping in to coordinate broader relief. The governor announcing $10 million in emergency funds to help families and food banks statewide.
You know, we like to say here at the Dream Center that crisis creates opportunity.
Michael says a bigger line will form again next Thursday, but they're ready.
This is going to give us an opportunity to serve more people, connect with more people, and hopefully get them connected to services that they need to help them get better.
So the state will also continue funding WIC benefits, which helps moms and children with food through November, but could be affected if the shutdown drags on. Denver and Pitkin County resources and donation options can be found on our website. Rhea Jha, 9 News.
The Salvation Army is laying off dozens of workers. That's after the organization was not selected to continue managing 3 shelters in Denver next year. Records show the Salvation Army is laying off 93 people at the end of the year. They say that's across the 3 hotel shelters they operate for the city. The old Doubletree in Central Park, the former Best Western near Northfield, and what used to be the Embassy Suites off East Hampden. The change is happening after multiple shootings at the former Doubletree and after an employee at the shelter was accused of sexual assault. An 11-year-old girl at the old Embassy Suites was also injured after falling from a top-floor window ledge. The Salvation Army says they're working to make that transition smooth as they prepare to hand off the 3 city-owned shelters. They also say they're offering support to the laid-off workers, including help finding jobs, counseling, and severance for people who are eligible. It will cover nearly 70 acres of prime real estate around Ball Arena, and tonight we have a better idea of when you can expect to see the construction begin.
The Ball Arena area project is a long-term project. I mean long-term, like eat right and exercise long-term if you want to live to see it. So developers say this is going to include new city parks, some affordable housing, as well as retail and residential space. 9 News anchor Phil Lipoff is along now with a look, Phil, at how long the city thinks it's going to take to get this done.
Dealer's choice, Kyle. It depends on if you're talking about the whole project or the first phase. According to arena owner Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, this will take up to 30 years to complete, but the high-profile first phase could be done a lot sooner. The first part of the project is an entertainment district north and east of the existing 19,000-seat arena, home, of course, to the Nuggets, Avalanche, and Mammoth. KSE first announced the plans back in April, a performance venue, hotel, 2 residential buildings as part of that district. The company says all 4 of those buildings will be built by the end of 2032, with the caveat that, of course, any construction plan can always change. The performance venue will be about 128,000 square feet and include space for a restaurant on the ground floor. The venue and hotel, 2 residential buildings, will all be connected by an underground parking structure. Now, during a council meeting this week, members were focused really on making sure that there will be enough affordable housing, about 1,000 units in all spread out throughout the neighborhood. The first element of the project to be built will be a pedestrian bridge that will span Spear Boulevard, connecting the development to downtown. And KSE says that construction on that bridge will start next year and could be completed by 2029. There you go.